What up, guys? J&J Sports and Fantasy coming back again with another video. Today, we discussing the AFC and NFC playoff picture as of the end of week 13. I'm sorry about that. Going into week 14, and we're just gonna go through it. Let you guys know our opinions and what we got for it. So buckle up. It's Jesse. It's RJ. What you got for us, RJ?
What's up, everybody? Like Jesse said, we are going to be going through our playoff picture as it stands right now. We're going to pretend wild cards in the hunt does not exist. Just 1 through 7 as it stands right now, giving you predictions, probabilities if it were to start today. Uh, so anything that is not within the top 7 is not on the table right now. That's just how we're going to play it. But before we get to our predictions and what we think based off of what we have right now. Make sure you guys go over to the TikTok J&J Sports and Fantasy. Make sure you're getting your daily picks from NBA, NFL, maybe a hockey bet here or there. We post daily on the TikTok, and that's where you guys will be getting all of our picks. I don't know if everybody tuned in for the video that we made prior, but we are going to be transitioning this part of the YouTube channel to just talking about the sports and getting you some dialogue and just, getting to know us a little bit better. So we're not just sitting here talking about picks and stuff that you guys would already get in the shorts and on TikTok. So you can get to know us a little bit better and we can actually discuss and dissect things instead of just throwing out picks. And if you guys like that, let us know. If you want us to come back and throw a couple picks in here that maybe we don't have on TikTok or Shorts, we can do that too. Just let us know. We're here for you guys. But we are coming up on the end of the year, and we would really love it if you guys could help us get to 100 subs on YouTube. That would be amazing. But either way, we're going to keep doing this until we make it our day jobs. So, with that being said, Jesse, AFC playoff picture as of right now. What are your thoughts?
I think it's good. I like that the Texans are back in it, like back into the playoff picture, even though they are the 7 seed. I do think they could climb up higher. Uh, I wish they got rid of the division stuff and stuff like that. I just don't like some of it. Like
What do you mean?
like the Chargers, like the Chargers should be higher than the Steelers. The Steelers should not even be in the playoffs, in my opinion. The I'm sorry, but if you're bad, but you're bad at the top of your division, what does that do for the rest of it? Just it bothers me to a level and to a certain extent.
I mean, that makes sense. I can see your
That's
frustration.
but that's it. Yeah, I think everybody is deserving except the Steelers, except the NFC, the AFC North, just in my opinion.
So, based off the picture we have right now, if they were to go to games, what do you think would be winners for round one?
Okay, so that means that the Patriots play the Texans, right?
Yep.
You're asking like that?
Yeah, like if we had
Okay,
these
Patriots
matchups,
play
who's coming out winners?
Patriots play the Texans, Jags play the Bills, Steelers play the Chargers. See, I think all of these games are unbelievably good. Like unbelievably good. I could not pick. It's hard to pick who's going to win what except the Steelers Chargers game
Yeah, I was literally just
because
thinking the
the
same thing.
Steelers are the Steelers are not going to beat the Chargers. We can also talk about how big of a win that the Chargers had this past week, beating the Philadelphia Eagles in overtime. Even though Jalen Hurts played like absolute dog crap, like it was horrendous to watch that man play football that day. But other than that, dude, Chargers Chargers looked good, dude. So
See,
I do like if I'm being honest with you, I think the Chargers would beat the Steelers. It's hard to say that the Bills won't beat the Jags, but the Jags are playing amazing football, and Trevor Lawrence is playing pretty good. but I'm still going to take the Bills. And I'm not going to lie to you, that Texans defense is tough, dude.
I
I
know.
really like this team. I really like the Texans. I just don't know if they're going to beat the Patriots. And honestly, if we're looking at the Patriots schedule, they haven't really played that many good teams.
I mean, that's very true too. I
They
mean, the Texans will be one of the toughest defenses they face so far.
that is the best defense that they've faced so far because they played Raiders week 1 and lost. Dolphins beat the Dolphins, lost to the Steelers, beat the Panthers, beat the Bills. So the best defense they've played so far is the Panthers, then beat the Patriots, then beat the Titans, then beat the Browns. That's technically the best defense by then. Eh. Then beat the Falcons, then beat the Bucks, then beat the Jets, then beat the Bengals, then beat the Giants.
And see, the
I
Patriots
don't
are
know,
playing
man.
the Bills this Sunday,
Exactly.
so we would
They
get
have
we would get to see how they fare against the Bills a second time around with something on the line because now they're playing for spots.
they have beat 2 teams above 500. It's that's I'm just pointing it out.
No, I understand.
And the rest of their schedule is a cakewalk. The rest of their schedule is a cakewalk besides the Bills game this week. Because then they play the Ravens, the Jets, and then they play the Dolphins.
So really, the only two they have to worry about is the Bills and the Ravens.
Not even the Ravens, dude.
Like,
They've got to lock in against the Bills this week. So,
you think they're going to beat up on the Ravens, or
dude, the
at this
Ravens
point
aren't
it
that
just
good.
won't matter.
No, they're fighting for the 1 spot because the Broncos play the Packers this week.
Ooh, gah.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be a really good game. I think those both the games are going to be really good games. Broncos and Packers and Patriots and Bills. Those are probably going to be some good games to watch this weekend.
Oh yeah. Okay. So if we're looking at the Texans schedule, they played the Rams week 1, lost. But mind you, they're not playing that good because of injuries. So they haven't started to get that good because of injuries until, let's say, like October, late October. So they lost to the Rams, they lost to the Bucks in a 1 point game. They lost to the Jags by a touchdown. They beat the Titans. They beat the Ravens. They lost to the Seahawks. They beat the Niners. Lost to the Broncos by 3. Then they beat the Jags. Then they beat the Titans. Then they beat the Bills. Then they beat the Colts. Then they beat the Chiefs.
God, that's a good run.
And if we're talking about this too, they lost to the Rams 14-9. They lost to the Bucks 20-19. They lost to the Jags 17-10. They lost to the Seahawks 27-19. Their worst loss is 27-19 against the Seahawks.
And the
That's their
Seahawks,
worst loss
yeah, and the Seahawks have been playing
to
crazy
the
too.
Seahawks, 27-19. And that was an 8 point game. They've been in it in every game that they've played.
Oh yeah,
Every game that they've played, they've been in it. So, if I'm looking at me personally, if I'm looking at the playoff picture, I think first round, I think the Texans beat the Patriots. The Bills beat the Jags. and the Chargers beat the Steelers. I'm taking all of the underneath teams to beat the favorites, really, technically, to beat the division leaders. So that means that the Texans would play the Broncos. In my opinion, I'd like to put that out there. And then the Chargers would play the Bills.
All right. Well, so before we go any further, I think the way I would do it, because I see what you're saying, but I also think it's going to be close. I think Patriots just clinched the win over the Texans by like walk-off field goal type territory. You know what I mean? Like last second,
I
they're
don't know. I
they
like the
got like,
Texans a lot.
oh no, I understand. I mean, I'm not going to downgrade them by any means, but it's just for what I think would happen is it's going to be a close game the whole way. They're going to be back and forth, and then after the 2 minute warning, there's going to be you know it's going to be close back and forth, and then within the last 12 seconds, there's going to be that walk off field goal, and it's going to be one of those where it's like just far enough out, like 40-yard, 45-yard attempt, like somebody's going to get held, and it's going to have to be one of those like they did not get close. They have to kick it from a distance to make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I still think Patriots come out on top on that. So I'll put Patriots over here. And then Bills, Jaguars. And this might just me being biased towards the Bills a little bit because Josh Allen likes to be Superman and turn it on when he wants to. And now that they're in it, according to this, if this was the playoff matchup, I think Josh Allen could pull that out. So then it would be Broncos versus Bills. And then I also think Chargers beat the Steelers. So it would be Chargers versus Pats. Not Pats. Yeah, Chargers versus Pats. All right. So now that you have your second round, what are you thinking second round for your matchups?
Second round matchups, I think the Bills beat the Chargers in a close game. Really, it's going to be a really close game. That Chargers defense is playing out of their minds. They're playing really, really good. I think the Bills would beat them though, just because of the fact that they're that good. Uh, Josh Allen is undeniable, and I won't deny him. And this is where I do think the Texans would fall short because the Broncos are that Broncos defense is playing too well against this, and I think the Broncos defense would shut down the Texans offense more than the Texans defense would shut down that Broncos offense. And like I could honestly see this game, like the Broncos Texans, I could see that game being a 13-10 game.
Oh yeah.
If we're talking betting, take the under on the score.
Yeah.
Like the total score, take the under.
And whoever the underdog is, if the sports book is dumb enough to give you 6.5 or 7 plus 6.5 plus 7.5 on whoever the underdog is, you could probably jump on that too. Because it's probably going to be a heavy defensive game in your matchup.
So I would have the Bills to beat the Chargers, and then the Broncos to beat the Texans. In my scenario.
And then what would be your final matchup? Be
Broncos Bills.
Broncos Bills.
Yeah.
So that's your final round. That's my round 2, game 1. I have Broncos Bills. And then for mine, since that's game 1, I think the Bills come out on top. Just because I feel like if the Bills can keep the offense in the game and not make stupid mistakes, and Josh Allen can put on the cape and do what Josh Allen is supposed to do and not make stupid little errors, and can somewhat make a dent in the Broncos defense because they do have a fantastic defense, I think the Bills come out on top. And then Patriots versus Chargers. That one for me would be tough because I like both the Chargers and the Patriots. But I would also say I think the Patriots just have a slight edge against the Chargers. By the way, they've even though their schedule has been easy, but with the way that they play, and Drake May out there pretty much passing for over 300 yards a game, regardless who they play, and it would really have to determine on how they played against the Texans. Because if they were able to, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to beat the Texans, but if they were able to actually, make some good offensive plays and, you know, hurt that Texans defense in a way that I would watch it. If they could get over on the Texans, I would feel they could definitely get over on the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
So my final round would be Bills versus Pats. Who do you have winning your scenario?
My Broncos Bills game.
Mm-hmm.
I would have the Bills winning. I would have the Bills winning because I know we've been talking about offense a lot. I mean defense. I know we've been talking about defense a lot, but we have to eventually throw in that offense, and that offense is going to be way better than the the Texans offense that I was just talking about. Yes, that Broncos defense is going to do their job. They are going to be good, doing well, but there comes to a point that you have to say, okay, Josh Allen is Josh Allen, and you just got to respect it.
Yeah, you got to trust him to do his
And
job.
like, and I think that's exactly what he would be doing. Okay, if I'm being completely honest, I think Josh Allen would be doing his job, and he would be doing it to a high level. He's just that good.
No, I agree because I
So
have the
I
Bills
would
winning in my
I would
scenario.
and I don't trust, and I'm being completely honest too. I don't trust the Broncos. I don't trust the Broncos at all,
Yeah,
especially in an AFC Championship game. Nah,
yeah,
they don't know the Bo Nix does not know the pressure. Sean Payton might, but Bo Nix doesn't.
and that's what I was going to touch on. If we get it, if we boil it down to the quarterback position, Josh Allen highly outranks Bo Nix. So just at
Oh yeah,
who's running the ship, I would trust Josh Allen to pull out the W way more than I would Bo Nix.
oh yeah.
Because it's like everything that's positive about Bo Nix, Josh Allen does better.
He does that too, so much better. If we're being completely honest, he does it so much better to a certain point. You're like, okay, chill, because like he's a better rusher, he's a better passer. He can nuke the ball down the field. Literally better in a statistical category, in my opinion. If we're looking at a quarterback, he's bigger, he's faster, he's tougher, he can take the hit, dude. Josh Allen all day over Bo Nix.
I,
Just my opinion. So I
I'm
would have the Bills beating the Broncos.
I'm with you on that completely. There's no way that I see in this type of position and this situation where there's this much pressure and what's on the line, Josh Allen losing to Bo Nix. All right, so the Bills win the championship for your side, right?
Right.
All right. So on mine, I have I have the Bills versus the Patriots. And as much as I like the Patriots, I think the Bills win. And I would give this caveat, however, if we had this matchup and the Patriots were, like 2 or 3 years from now and had this same matchup, for me, it would be closer to a 50-50. Because if you gave this
Okay.
Patriots team more time to get synergy, rhythm, I mean, not saying they don't have it right now, but, to really dial it in, and play together the way that Josh Allen has with his Bills team, I think we would be looking at a different type of game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I know
all in
exactly
all,
what you're saying.
I think the Bills would pull it out, and I also see Bills winning AFC Championship.
So the
So,
Bills are going to the Super Bowl.
so according to according to both of us, in two different routes, Bills are in Super Bowl. All right, let's
Yep,
mosey on down to
different routes,
NFC.
but the Bills are still going to the Super Bowl.
Hey, you know what they say? All roads lead to Buffalo, baby. Buffalo Mafia.
Yep. Oh, Bills Mafia, not Buffalo.
Oh, is it just Bills Mafia? I could have swore somebody said Buffalo Mafia.
It's Bills Mafia.
Hey, I ain't trying to get in trouble. Make sure you correct me. Oh, and while we're on the topic,
They'll torch you.
no disrespect, I like the Bills. Don't come at me. But while we're on the topic of getting torched, if you're listening to this video, watching us, and I've made this statement before. I don't think I've ever said it on TikTok, which I probably should address it at some point. Prior to last year, I did not watch sports. I've played sports my whole life. I've played football. I've played baseball. I'm 5'6". I've never played basketball, so that's goes without saying. So I am going to mess up things such as players' names, phrases, and commonly known things like that. And I don't mind being corrected. I am 100% okay with being corrected. If I say a name wrong, if I say a term or phrase or slang wrong, 100%. That's your job to correct me so I don't look stupid. However, I want everybody listening to realize I'm like a rookie when it comes to the uh, the talking about sports. So if I say some dumb stuff, it's lack of knowledge. So what I'm good at doing is looking at previous games, data, matchups, and making an analytical decision based on what we have to create the best pick available and trying to get an edge on the sports book. Jesse has this uncanny amount of sports knowledge. He is like the professional sports guy. So he's going to know the stuff that I don't know. And when I sound stupid, he's going to correct me. Okay. Because I don't know if anybody watched TikTok, but I pronounced a basketball player's name wrong. And I got beat up in the comments, which is cool. I don't take any hate from it. I'd rather be corrected than look stupid. Now I know. You know what I mean? So just don't judge me for being dumb because I don't know. I just
I'll judge you.
I had to
I'll
get
judge
that
you.
out there.
I'll judge you.
I still can't say that guy's name. You and that other dude have said it to me like 3 times in a row, and for the life of me, I have no clue how you pronounced it. Like I hear it, like I can see you saying it, and I can hear the cadence of you saying it, but how you pronounced it, no clue.
I'd give it another try. Give her another try.
So
Just for the
so
one time on the YouTube.
yeah, so for everybody listening, I mispronounced an NBA player on the Pacer. His first name is Pascal. Now, I pronounced his last name Sycam because it is spelled, and hopefully, pray to God, there's somebody listening that'll understand because I've never heard this name spoken before. Because when NBA games are going on, me and Jesse are at work. We don't have the time to sit down and watch these games, and I'm not going back to watch highlights. I can go on ESPN and track my bet of the day without having to watch it. But however, let me pull up this dude's name real quick. So at least hopefully I can somewhat defend the reason for my pronunciation. Where's he at? I know he's on here. All right. So I said Pascal Siakam, and it's spelled Siakam. So SIA is Psy, KAM is can. Now, I know, as I assume this is someone that's probably from, a different background. and that was probably the most
Go ahead,
widest
say it. Go
the
ahead, say it.
the
Go
the
ahead, say it.
the widest and most generic way to pronounce that name, and that's on me.
Nah, that's not what I wanted to hear. You know what I want to hear.
No, what is I'm a cracker?
Go ahead, say it.
The cracker way?
No, say what he is.
I actually don't know what he is. I've never seen him. Hold on, let me see if I can click on his name and it'll give me a picture. Oh, okay. So now I can kind of see why people gave me crap for it because he is an African American. Um,
He's what?
he's a black dude.
There we go.
So, I butchered his name 100%. So, how is the proper way to say his name? Keep in mind the spelling is Siakam.
It's Pascal Siakam.
Siakam. Okay, so you put the enunciation on the Si. The A rolls into the
Right.
okay. Siakam. Okay. See, and that's fine. Like, cool. I know now. So I want. I mean, I know you've told me like 6 times already, but I'm trying to commit it to memory when I see it. But just for everyone as a heads up, if you're listening to me in the TikToks or the YouTube Shorts or even on here, if you guys like our long form content, if I sound dumb, hit me up in the comments and say, "Yo, what are you doing? You're stupid. This is how you say it," and break it down for me like I'm a toddler because I don't understand sometimes, and that's cool. I have no problem being corrected. I am an adult and I can admit when I'm wrong. Okay, so besides that tangent, NFC.
NFC. In the NFC, we would have the Packers playing the Bears, the Eagles playing the 49ers, and then we have the Bucks playing the Seahawks. This would be a great couple of games. And the Rams are the number one seed as we speak right now. Packers are number two. Eagles are at number three. Bucks at number four. So and then at five we have the Seahawks. At six we have the 49ers, and at seven we have the Bears. So, would you like me to kick it off, or would you like to take it from here?
Now you go ahead.
All right, cool. At this point, the Packers will play the Bears. After watching Week 13, me personally, the Packers are absolutely beating the Bears. There's no doubt in my mind. Bears down. Bears are not. I don't like the Bears, but we watched it. Packers beat the Bears. So the Packers would beat the Bears in my opinion. And then the second game, Eagles 49ers. I'm not gonna lie to you, the Eagles don't look good at all. Jalen Hurts threw an interception and then uh, picked up the fumble and then proceeded to fumble again. Had two turnovers in one play, never done before in NFL history. There's your guy. I'd be taking the 49ers to beat the Eagles in Philly. And then after that, the Seahawks will play the Bucks, and I think the Seahawks are just playing too good right now, and the Bucks are not playing that well. They just lost to the Saints. Give me the Seahawks to beat the Bucks. So that would leave us to the number one Rams to play the 49ers, and then the Packers to play the Seahawks. That's what I would get to. What you looking on your side of
Dude,
your
that's
side of the table over
insane.
there?
That's actually insane. So as you were talking, I was looking at the matchups and what I like to. So I'm similar with you. Packers are going to beat the Bears. That to me is almost a given. If the Packers somehow lose this game, I would be aghast. I would be what are some of those crazy words? Flabbergasted would probably be a good word for it. Um, so I see Packers going forward. Some crazy mishap. I don't see how they lose unless Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, and Romeo Dobbs all get injured on the same day. And even then, they still have to deal with
Yup.
Micah. They still have to deal with Micah Parsons. But anyway, I see Packers winning, and for some reason I thought you were going to take the Eagles, so I was over here getting ready to take the 49ers. So I actually am.
No, God no.
I'm actually taking the 49ers as well because dude, I said it in the last video, man. I think the Eagles have just been overrated this season. They haven't really done anything that like impresses me enough to a level of like, man, these guys, this is why they won the Super Bowl last year, and these guys are a heavy contender this year. Like Jalen Hurts hasn't been doing anything spectacular. Saquon Barkley's not playing like he did last year. The pass game is getting better, but nowhere near like a Super Bowl contending team should be and utilizing their receivers the way they should. Are they getting better? Yeah, I mean at least AJ is getting some targets now and Smith is getting, some good looks, but it's like I just don't like the way they've been playing. So I'm taking the 49ers. I think 49ers can get it over on them. Even at Philly, yeah. Even with the Eagles being at home, 49ers should win that. And then Seahawks and the Bucks. The Bucks started out really good and the Seahawks have been playing crazy, but I still think Seahawks win. So I think ours is going to be a little bit similar. Hopefully, we have a little bit of differentiation rolling into the second round, but I've got Rams versus 49ers, and then I would have Packers versus Seahawks.
We have the same thing.
Exact same thing.
The exact same thing. All right, so I'm gonna go. I'm taking the Rams to beat the 49ers. I think this is just giving the Rams the best team in the NFC right now, in my opinion. And I think the Packers will beat the Seahawks. It's if we're looking at it the right way, I don't think that I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is a great talent, but that Seahawks offensive line isn't always the best. Although they have improved this year, they've improved a lot this year. But that Micah Parsons led defense is gonna be a terror. It's gonna be Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, um, Devontae Wyatt coming at you. All of those guys, Lucas Van Ness coming at you. We have those guys coming at you, and we also have Evan Williams, Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine. Don't even get me started on the linebackers now. Adrian Cooper, Quay Walker, like uh, Trent McDuffie. All of these guys are like almost elite at their respective positions. So I do think that's where the Seahawks would fall to the Packers. But the Seahawks are a great team. So I would have the Rams and the Packers in the NFC Championship game. I'd have the one going up against number 2.
So for the sake of just having a different matchup, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think your matchup is more close to reality than what I'm gonna say. So outright, I think Rams beat 49ers. To me, the Rams are just a better team, and like I said last video, I think over the course of this season, I've been slightly favoring the Rams because it's like no matter what bet, what money I put on the Rams, it's almost a guaranteed hit. Like there have been times I've taken just Ram only bets, and it's like wasn't even a sweat. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but and as much as you don't want to hear this part, I'm also saying this is just I don't think this is reality, but just in the sake of having a different matchup, I think I would take Seahawks over Packers just for the difference in matchup and say Micah Parsons has a bad game, Jordan Love can't get the offense going, and Seahawks somehow managed to jam up Josh Jacobs in an off chance scenario. So I would say, again, just for this scenario, Seahawks move forward. So we have Rams versus Seahawks.
And honestly, I don't hate it. I do see I do see a night where the Packers do lose to the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a good team. I'm not saying that they're not, but I do believe that when we're looking at it, the Packers are a better team in my opinion, and I do think I just do think that they would beat them. Um, when you're also when you're looking at it, just simple enough, the Seahawks are not playing that well against good teams.
No, they're not.
Eh, they're not playing like the Seahawks that we saw against the Falcons. They're
Right.
not playing like the Seahawks that we saw against the Saints. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when when you put them up when you put them up putting oh sorry words when you put them up against the 49ers or the Rams or the Bucks even they don't win those games.
They start to unravel.
And and I will say this too. When they played the Bucks, that was the best I'd seen. That was a good loss because it was a straight shootout in that game.
Oh yeah. I mean, they play
So
good. It's just I don't. Okay, so I'll put it like this: if we had a scenario in where the Packers played the Seahawks 10 times in a row, I would say the Packers would probably win at least 6 or 7 times out of the 10. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be that maybe 3 or 4 off chance something's going to happen, a bad call, you know, somebody's going to get something, mentally they're going to get caught up on a bad call, or they're going to get frustrated, or somebody's going to get shut down more than they normally would have. So I would say, 7 out of 10 times the Packers win. But with that, for this scenario, I'm going to say this is one of the 3 times the Seahawks would win.
and I see a world more possible where Jordan Love isn't getting Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur are not getting the offense going more than Micah Parsons because Micah Parsons does not need a sack to affect the game.
Oh no.
He already affects the game with him just being on one side of the ball, lining up against the other side of the ball, because that man has the most pressures and hurries in the league right now. He is constantly getting to the quarterback. And can I just say this right now too, as a very annoyed Packers fan, because I watch my team every week. Um, there has not been a single holding call on Micah Parsons through 13 weeks. 13 weeks, there's not been one single holding call, and I could count on my finger how many times I saw a holding call against the Bengals. They held them the entire night. Just last week against the Bears, I saw two holding calls that didn't get called. It's really really annoying watching these games and us not getting these calls. Especially, I feel it for Micah. He would get so many more sacks if he got that call because then they can't hold him all the time. They're not trying to give up 10 to 50, 10 yards every single time on a hold. It's really really frustrating watching these games because you know how good he is, but you're literally watching him get held the entire time. Really frustrating.
No, it has to be extremely frustrating, like you said, and for him as well, because it's like, you go out here and put all this effort, and you know that if it was being called like it should have been called, the game would be going different. But it's like because you are who you are, they're like, we're not gonna call it because he's just so freaking good. You almost have to hold him to not let him get to your quarterback. And then, like you said, I mean, just him lining up
And I'll say
against.
this.
But
No, like I'll just say this too. The last time he got a holding call was last year against the Packers.
ironic.
I'm being serious. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's just like that's just me being like, hey, this is what happened. Like that's true. The last time he got a holding call was last year against the Packers
That's crazy.
when
That's
he was literally he was on the Cowboys. It's just really frustrating watching this man not get a single holding call. Sorry, had to get that off my chest.
No, for sure. I feel you with it 100%, man. It's definitely annoying to watch because, like you said, a lot of games would go a lot different if they were losing those penalty yards every time they did it because they do it a lot.
Dude, the field would be flipped if we got a holding call every single time. You got to like, and I'm not saying like it's like because there's holding on every single play in football. Every single play that there is at least one hold. But I'm talking about the obvious ones. If we're talking about the obvious ones, it's game changers, dude, because they're holding on third down. They're holding on second down. They're holding on like fourth down. I've seen them get held on fourth down, and it's so annoying.
No, I
It
know.
that will end my thing,
No, I mean, get it out, man. Trust me.
my
This
little
is your
tangent.
place to vent. There are other sports heads on here that I'm sure would agree with you 100%. It's beside me.
Nah, that's it. That covers it. It's just very annoying.
So who's winning your matchup? Rams or Packers? That would be a really good game to watch.
Rams are what?
Rams or Packers for your side.
Oh God, I don't know, man.
All right, you got
I
20
really don't.
bucks. 20 bucks, you have to pick a winner.
Sorry, say that one more time.
So you have $20 to bet on a winner and you have to pick who's going to win.
Oh God, I'm being serious. I don't know. Even without the cloud of judgment of me being a Packers fan, I really don't know.
All right, well how about how about I'll give my opinion on your scenario and then you can skew what I say into yes or no. So,
Okay, if I'm being completely honest, if I'm and I'm being completely honest here, my gut is telling me to pick the Packers. My gut is telling me to pick the Packers, but my brain is telling me to pick the Rams.
see, and that's where I was going to go. I was going to say, me personally, as good as the Packers are, and I know the Packers are your team, I would slightly give the edge to the Packers, or not the Packers, the Rams. And the only reason I say that is because Jordan Love hasn't been quarterback for that long, right? I'm asking.
Say it one more time.
Jordan Love. How long has he been the quarterback for Packers?
3 or 4 years. 4 years.
Okay, so
Starting quarterback.
okay. So I thought it was less than that.
He's been
So,
there longer.
but he just hasn't been the starter.
No, he sat underneath
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers for 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking it was less time. So okay, that changes my opinion a little bit. But so I would say just slightly, Rams would have the edge in my opinion because we have Puka Nakua on the Rams, who's hard to cover, which I know the Packers probably could manage to keep him covered. But you also have Kyron Williams, who's 1-for-1 with Josh Jacobs, in my opinion. I think Josh Jacobs is slightly better, but Kyron Williams is nobody to sleep on. You know what I'm saying? He can run out just like Josh Jacobs as a receiver, catch a check down, and then just take off. They both have that ability. So that to me is like equal territory. But receiver wise, I feel like Puka Nakua just has the speed to outrun and get open and make something happen a little bit better than the receivers than for the Packers. And with Matthew Stafford have been playing with Puka, they probably have a rhythm to how they want to do things in a scenario where they're playing against a defense like the Packers, where Matthew Stafford knows he's going to have to get rid of the ball in 2 seconds. So it's essentially Puka has a 2 second sprint on his route, and Matthew Stafford has to either get him the ball, hit a check down, or look for Kyron Williams to make something happen. Where Jordan Love, on the other hand, is his main guy is just going to be Josh Jacobs, which I know he has receivers too, but you know, I just think the caliber of receiver wise is slightly better for Rams. So with
Yeah,
that,
because I mean Puka Nacua is regarded as one of the best wide receivers in the league, and I'm not doubting that at all. At all. I'm not going to say no to that. Plus, they also have Devontae Adams. Then there's a steep drop off after that because of their 1 and 2. Um, I can't remember who the third wide receiver is for um, the Rams, but the Packers do have a good set of wide receivers, and I honestly I'm going to pick um, the Rams to win this game, and I'm not gonna let my cloud my judgment my fandom for the Packers cloud my judgment. I do think that the Rams would win this game, and the Packers would lose again in the NFC Championship.
we'll see. my
So my Super Bowl would be set
my thoughts on it too would also
Rams
be
Bills.
just like the 10 game scenario. If the Rams played the Packers 10 times in a row, I think that would be much closer to a 50-50 type matchup because it essentially comes down to a couple of variables. Can Matthew Stafford get rid of the ball faster than Micah Parsons is going to get to him? So is the O line for the Rams going to be able to hold off Micah Parsons long enough for Matthew Stafford to create opportunity on a drive? That's variable number one for just the Rams offense to get going. And then the flip side of the coin is the Rams defense going to be able to put enough pressure on Jordan Love to stop him from getting the Packers offense from going and getting Josh Jacob involved, hitting his receivers, or doing anything to really get down the field? Because, I mean, the Rams don't have the best defense, but their defense isn't horrible. I mean, I would say Packers defense is better than the Rams, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, what day are they playing on? Are we going to have a good defensive day? Are we going to have a good O-line day? Or are they going to be able to get rid of the ball fast enough? Whose offense is going to get going faster and be more productive on their drives than the other? So I would say that one's closer to a 50-50 for me. I would say if they play 10 times out of 10, 5 out of 5, it's going either way. Or 5 out of 10, it's going either way. So you did
Okay,
give yourself a very hard choice.
and I'm not gonna lie to you. I do think whoever wins this game is gonna win the Super Bowl. So like whoever wins like Rams Packers in the NFC Championship game, it's gonna win the Super Bowl. So, yes, in the Super Bowl, the Rams would be playing the Bills in my scenario, and the Rams would win the Super Bowl.
See, and that's where I was going to get to next because Rams playing the Seahawks. Unless something happens and it's like, they just don't take the game serious, which I don't know why they wouldn't, considering it's a championship game. The Rams should beat the Seahawks. I mean, and Seahawks are a good team. Not saying they're a bad team, but the Rams should win. And I would have Rams versus Bills in the Super Bowl. And I think Rams versus Bills would be a really good Super Bowl. You got Josh Allen and his offense going against the Matthew Stafford and his offense. I think Josh Allen is the better quarterback in this scenario, but I think the Rams would consistently just have the edge.
Yeah. So you're taking the Rams to win the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, I'm going to throw the Rams to win the Super Bowl as well. So we had different routes to get there, but we both settled on the Rams.
Heck yeah,
They've just been playing really good.
dude. They've all been playing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean this this playoff picture is really good, with the exception of the Bears and the Steelers. And in my opinion, I think the Eagles should be way lower than what they are, because it's, I don't know if this is biased or not, because I really don't have any issue with Philadelphia or the Eagles. It's just like this season, it's like I haven't wanted to watch their games. You know what I'm saying? Like Saquon Barkley is not doing anything. Jalen Hurts isn't really doing anything amazing. Their offense is Their defense is good, but it's like, why? I don't know. But I digress. So,
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
and it might be, something in the locker room, people not getting along, maybe some issues going on internally, but it's like, bro, you got to put that stuff to the side and win games. You were a Super Bowl winning team this time, well, not this time, but a couple months from now, this time last year, and now you're like,
This time last year, they were like, oh. This time last year, there were people who were saying, oh, they're going to win a Super Bowl.
yeah, and now it's like, why are they even in the playoffs? Because even now, I'm
The
surprised.
Dallas Cowboys.
Huh?
Because of the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't know. That
Yeah.
I think we got it pretty well based off of what the information we have right now. And this is disregarding wild cards. This is disregarding what's going to unfold this weekend, because this list is, I'm assuming, is probably going to get shaken up a little bit based off of who wins and who loses this weekend. But that'll be next week's episode, so stay tuned, guys. But
Yep. And this Thursday, we're going to be talking about top 10 quarterbacks.
Yep. And keep in mind that, so if you're listening, this is not statistic top 10, because if we went off stats, we would have the exact same top 10. So this is going to be based off of how we like how they play, how we like to watch them play, like their play style, if we want to watch them play, how good they are with their offense, and then just, purely favoritism. Really, it's going to be a favoritism list.
I don't know about favoritism list because, Jordan Love is not going to be the top for me. When I talk about favoritism, like when I think of favoritism, like he's my favorite quarterback, yes, but I'm not going to put him at the top because he's not the best.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll say favoritism with logic behind it. Like I wouldn't say Jackson Dart is number one. I mean, I like Jackson Dart. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's going to be a great quarterback, but I'm not going to put him at number one. I mean, he might not even break top 10, but I'm working on my list, and I'm trying to debate whether I should, like, 5 to 10 should be like rage baity for you, just to hear you get angry. Because I mean, in all reality, I think my favorite top 5 would be, logical and would make sense, but from like 6 to 10, just throwing in guys to hear you rage out over some of the some of the picks, I would say.
And I would fall for it too.
Yeah, hey, we might get some people to laugh and subscribe. Cough, cough. But you
They
guys have
should
that.
subscribe.
Yeah, that gives you guys something to look forward to. And you guys build your own top 10, and not going off stats. Just, like we said, build you a quick little top 10 of quarterbacks, because up until Super Bowl, we're gonna keep updating our playoff bracket and playoff picture until we get to playoffs, and then we'll give our predictions. And then the end of the week videos will be more of top 5, top 10s. We can go quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, uh, predictions for next season type deal. And then we could also start migrating over to NBA players and teams and things of that nature. But just to also, it's a little bit further out, but we are going to have an announcement probably at the end of next week for YouTube videos in general, because me and Jesse have some stuff coming up that is purely out of our control. So, but we'll get to that when the time comes. Jesse, you got anything else for anybody tonight?
No, that'll be it for me.
All right, guys. So before we get
Be
out of
it for
here,
me.
everybody go over to the TikTok, J&J Sports and Fantasy. Follow us over there. Hit the like and subscribe button here. We're gonna keep pushing out content. We're gonna try and start getting better about posting multiple videos a day on the TikTok and YouTube Shorts, so that gives you guys more picks to choose from instead of just one, a limited amount of picks, because I know everybody has their own opinions on what they like and what they don't like. So we're going to work on, getting more videos out for everybody and making sure that whatever we post on TikTok, we bring over here to the YouTube. So that way, if you're just on our YouTube, you also get that information as well. But if you are here on YouTube, don't sleep on the TikTok. We get a lot more of our picks out on TikTok because it's faster to get them out over there. But with that being said, guys, thank you. We appreciate everybody who sits down and listens to us. If you're subscribed, you're a real G. If you follow us on TikTok, we appreciate you. Hit us up in the comments or send us messages on TikTok. We're pretty quick to get back in touch with you guys. We like talking to you guys, whether you're making fun of how I say players' names or if you do or don't like our bets. We can talk about it. We're about that life. Conversate with us. That's the whole deal. We're doing this to get you guys involved and get picks for you guys, and eventually make this mine and Jesse's job to give you the best picks possible. So everybody get out of here. Have a good night. Happy betting. We're going to have a video later this week. Peace out.